All right, guys, I'm so glad to meet you after all these years because I hope you don't remember, but I just wanted to apologize because I was back then the MTV host who was there for the premiere of Starsky and Hutch in Munich. And I have to apologize, I was forced, I didn't like Disney back then, but I'm a fan of Zoolander. And I recall that already even there on the red carpet, people were like, oh wait, give us the blue steel, give us blue steel. Yeah. So I'm wondering, wasn't there any time, I mean, in your case it's great because every time it was like, Hansel, he's so hot right now, he's so hot. But in your case, everybody wanted to see your blue steel. Was there ever like a moment where you said like, please, enough, just at least a year where people would not annoy me with anything that comes
Well, people would want to see blue steel from me, and I would try to explain over the years, well, but I don't do blue steel, it's what Zoolander does. And then finally I got tired of trying to explain, I just started doing it too.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the reasons I wanted to make the movie, because I think to finally go, okay, we're going to do this, because it kept on coming up over the years. And it didn't really annoy me because it's kind of nice that people remembered the movie from, you know, and not that many people actually went to see the movie when it first came out. So I always got a kick out of it when people would say, hey, do Blue Steel. But I never thought that we were actually going to make the movie. But then over the years, it kept on happening. And that was one of the reasons we said, all right, let's do it.
But I think also like a big compliment that I have to give out for this movie is that the research is like perfect. It's very respectful when it comes to fashion. But also it seems, has there been like some explanation that you had to go through, especially with a character as young as like a Justin Bieber? Because I saw like some fashion blogger who saw like Zoolander, the first part for the first time. They're like, oh, I didn't even know that this movie is out and it's so brilliant and it's awesome.
Right, cool.
Is it that you had to explain it to like a younger generation by now?
Weirdly, there are a lot of younger people who are aware of the movie. I mean, that's what I've found over the years. I think it's because the characters are almost like children, very childlike. Yeah. Derek and Hansel are very innocent. They're genuine, and you know, it's all pretty tame in terms of the jokes. You know, there's a little bit of sexual innuendo or whatever, but it's all pretty tame. So I think it's actually kind of a kid-friendly movie, and I've found over the years that there are younger fans of it who are aware of it somehow. I don't know how, but they are.
And the same question that I asked Will Ferrell, because I also been wondering if I'm reading too much into it, because I felt that the mockery was this time not so much about fashion, but actually about blockbuster movies in general. Some scenes just look like, because it's so huge, so out of proportions, that it really seems like, oh, we're making fun. And I consider it really as an art movie, pretty much. Am I reading it too much into that movie?
I'll take that, sure. I mean, I think, you know, in terms of the fashion world, I never felt like the movie was based on just mocking the fashion world, even though, of course, that's part of what it is. But I feel like the reason why people who like the first one like it is because they connect with the characters. And I didn't feel like we could actually figure out a way to satirize what's going on in the fashion world any more than the fashion world is kind of parodied itself in a way, because they just keep on topping themselves with more and more crazy, ridiculous things. So it was really hard to figure that out. And I just wanted to focus more on, yeah, the idea also that our, you know, celebrity culture and fashion and movies, they're all kind of one thing now because of social media and imagery and Instagram and the way people are just looking at everything. It's all eye candy and it's all kind of melded in a way.
And for now, as this movie has been shot, you dropped the number 2 pretty well. So I'm asking, after this one, is it done now for Zoolander? Is it that you're just going to go back to project as Mitty or Greenberg? Is it for you to say like, hey Ben, I like you, but I'm just going to go hang out back with Woody Allen? Is that the kind of stuff that will come soon with the two of you?
Well, it is. I mean, that's one of the nice things about making the movie is that we get a chance to hang out, and especially in this movie with there's so many great people in it. So it's fun to all kind of get a chance to play dress up in Rome.
I am currently shooting Greenberg 2 right now.
You kidding?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Ben, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon back here in Berlin.
Okay. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great.
Thanks, man. All right.
Well, I don't know where to start, because like you, the reason why I started doing these interviews.
Okay.
That was back then for Anchorman, and unfortunately something happened within your family. That's why you didn't show up. But I can tell you like how much of a fan I am, really. I mean, either Stranger Than Fiction, George W. Bush, Ron Burgundy, Ricky Bobby, all of these roles, and of course, like also in Zoolander. But the thing is, like when it comes to describing you, I always have a lack of saying like, really, what's Will Ferrell about? It's timing, of course, but you are so seamlessly able to change like from character to character. So, what is your thing? What is it that you do when you create these kind of characters?
I wish I could tell you. but I can't. It's a secret. And no, I mean, I thank you. Thank you for saying that. I guess I just enjoy kind of trying to reinvent myself, you know, every time I do something with these roles. And yeah, it's just kind of the way my mind works, in the sense of, if I've done something that feels like it's in this area, I'll try to do something so far away from it. And also, you know, lucky that I've been given the opportunity to kind of explore different things comedically.
Also, that I have to say about this movie, I think it's a brilliant one. And I'm just going to ask the same question also like Ben Stiller. Yeah. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I felt this could be also like an odd movie for some reason, because it seems to be less mocking like the fashion business, but it's also kind of like mocking all kind of blockbuster movie, because it's like so huge, out of proportions, and I think that must have been a kind of a nightmare, pretty much, like putting all the stuff together.
Well, Ben, I mean, he did an amazing job kind of creating the scope of this movie. It's much, you know, it really is so much bigger than the first one in a way, and which, you know, if you're going to make a sequel, you might as well go for it. But in terms of the look of it, you know, the fact that Rome is kind of a character in the film, all the cameos he was able to get, it was a lot for him to wrangle, but he did a masterful job, as well as, you know, starring in it. But I also think it does a brilliant job kind of satirically commenting on, you know, what mass media has done to the way we perceive ourselves, and we all have to be skinny, and we can't get old, and we're a slave to our phones, and all this stuff like that it comments, you know, really brilliantly throughout the film.
And those scenes that you had with Kristen Wiig, was it kind of like a welcoming thing, working with someone that you worked so many times together?
Oh yeah. She's I think she's one of the most fearless people right now in comedy, and you know, we just kind of have an unspoken thing where we can just go right into a scene and just go for it. And yeah, that kiss scene in the film was just really Ben basically saying, okay, I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, just whatever you think, whatever you want to do. And that we just kind of created that crazy energy, and you know, just two eccentric weirdos, you know, reigniting for the first time, and that was the byproduct of that.
Yeah, but another great scene was the one in the helicopter when he just came out of the prison, and then that was kind of a look battle that came out. Was that simply like improv, or was it really like written down like look by look?
That, I don't know if it was it was definitely just something we knew we were going to do, because that was kind of established in the first movie, that Mugatu and Todd always had these moments where they're just constantly like have this unspoken bizarre tension. And you know, Nathan, the actor who played, he was just great about, he would look away, and then I would look at him, and then I would look away, and we just developed this weird kind of, you know, nonverbal communication, and so we just picked that up.
And finally, as a last question, will we see more comedies with Will Ferrell, I guess, but will there also be something more drama, as earlier mentioned, Stranger Than Fiction, stuff like that?
I would love to kind of do more films like that. Stranger Than Fiction is something I'm so proud of, and was just an amazing movie to get to work on. So I'm constantly searching for more things that are a little more dramatic. Yeah, just kind of waiting to find the right one. Plus, you know, trying to still convince the studios that I can do that thing. Yeah.
And thank you so much, because you are kind of a big deal, and you're so hot right now in that movie too.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, Funk!
6 ermordete Popstars im letzten Jahr. Alle mit diesem Blick.
Peace out, Freunde.
Nur ein Mensch weiß, was dieser Blick heißt.
Ich bin nicht mehr angesagt. Ich bin müde geworden.
Du bist Dereks Zoolander. Du hast einen chinesischen Wurfstern mit einem Blick gestoppt. Zeig mir diesen wunderschönen Blick.
Warte, nein!
Magnum, jetzt! Ah! Oh! Nimm das! Oh! Tequila! Oh!
Vielleicht versuchen wir es mit einem Handtuch.
Dereks Zoolander, ich arbeite für Interpol, Global Fashion Division.
Die ist heiß. Ich vertraue ihr.
Wie kommen Sie zur Fashion-Polizei?
Ich war Bademodemodel.
Das tut mir sehr leid.
Ich habe es nie geschafft, in ihre Welt zu kommen. Deswegen.
Ist ja eklig.
Sie sind sicher, dass Zoolander uns helfen kann?
Hallo, Hübscher.
Mann, du hast doch echt nicht mehr alle Tassen im Schrank. Sie müssen für uns die Welt der Haute Couture unterwandern.
Das momentan angesagteste Supermodel der Welt. Das ist All.
Bist du jetzt ein männliches Model oder ein weibliches Model?
All ist alles.
Ich glaube, er meint, hast du das Brötchen oder die Wurst?
Ups.
Es gibt nur ein kriminelles Superhirn, das hinter allem stecken kann.
Der Knast hat mich verändert. Ich bin jetzt hart bis auf die Knochen. Toll. Wo ist mein gottverdammter Latte?
Wer sagt, Bademodemodels seien nutzlos? Nehmen Sie mich von hinten, so als würde Ihr Leben davon abhängen. Doch nicht so, sondern so. Zur Sicherheit und Schwimmfähigkeit.
Warten Sie, was?
Wir schwimmen zurück nach Rom.
Oh, okay.